Week 2 of Homeschool Preschool is a wrap. From hooked on phonics to a sink or flow experiment to printer's crafts, let me share with you what worked and what didn't. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Homeschool Recap series, or welcome to our Homeschool Recap series where each week I break down the lessons and activities we tried, the huge wins and the inevitable flops. This is week 2. This week we did literacy with hooked on phonics. We did a bead math activity, a science experiment that I pulled from Teachers Pay Teachers, and some Pinterest crafts. So let's go ahead and go day by day. So Monday was our history day, and we decided to do just a fun My Family style history lesson. So this was something that I kind of pulled together myself. I just kind of got some ideas for history lessons for preschoolers off of Google. One of those was to talk about your family and how you're related to the people in your family. So we talked a little bit on that, and then I printed off just almost like a family tree. It was just some boxes with each person's name on it, and then she got to go in and color and draw each of the people from our family. So she really loved that. She actually was sad that I didn't include everybody in our family, but she did love drawing. She chose everybody's favorite color to color them in. So that was a great experience, and she loved that activity. Tuesday was literacy again, and let me tell you, Tuesday was another flop. I don't think that reading and writing is going to be her favorite as of right now, which is totally okay, but we did struggle a little bit. So this week we were learning C and D, so we were practicing writing those letters in uppercase and lowercase, as well as going into hooked on phonics and working within the app for reading. It was just another day where she just was not having it. And this week we actually didn't end up having the OT come in. So it was just me and her working, and there was no other extra added excitement. And it just might not be her favorite subject, and I'm okay with that as long as we can kind of work through the lessons. But yes, it did not work. And now she is excited about hooked on phonics. I will say that I don't believe it has anything to do with that. I do think it has a lot to do with, she does know her letters pretty well, but we were practicing writing them correctly, and she does struggle a little bit with that. She just kind of wants to do her own thing. So we're working on that, but overall it wasn't a bad day. So Wednesday was our math lesson. We did a beaded activity. So I purchased some Easter beads. I was supposed to get some colored multi-beads for this one, and I totally forgot, but we ordered some Easter beads, just some cheap ones off of Amazon, and worked on patterns with it, teaching her the difference of patterns. So like AB patterns, ABAB patterns, and then AABB patterns. And we worked on that, and I realized she knows patterns and how those work very well. Within 10 minutes, we were already working on ABCD patterns. So I realized, you know what? She knows this. We don't need to continue to focus on this. So we did try to switch gears, and we do also have hooked on math as well. So we tried to switch gears into one of the hooked on math workbooks. And she was not a fan of when we did that. She was very interested in playing with the beads. She loved that hands-on activity. So as soon as we tried to move into the workbook on that, things did get a little bit more difficult to try to focus. So I do definitely feel like, she is more hands-on learning. So I'm going to keep that in mind moving forward with some of these activities, and maybe rearrange some of these activities to be more hands-on versus working through a workbook. But overall, like I said, she loved the patterns, just didn't so much love when we tried to completely switch gears on the lesson. Now, Thursday was science, and let me tell you, I feel like science is going to be her subject. Once again, she was very excited. I told her the night before that we were going to be doing sink or float, which she has played this game before, but we were going to go a little bit more in depth on it. And as soon as she woke up Thursday morning, she asked if we could do school. I'm like, let's get some breakfast in us first, and then yes, of course, we can do our sink or float experiment. So I actually pulled off a couple different style of worksheets from the website Teachers Pay Teachers. These were free resources, so none of them were ones that you had to pay for, just to kind of help along with the sink or float activity. Now, I filled out the worksheets for her. She did have the one that she could color in her own predictions on it, but basically I just used that to help me more organize what items should we have for sink or float, what kind of questions should I be asking, and then yeah, so we went through that, and like I said, she absolutely loved it. She wanted to keep going even after we did as many items as we had, but I kept letting her go on her own with her own items, and we talked about, you know, what makes something sink, what makes something float. And yeah, it was a very much a fun time, and that was probably the biggest win of the week. And last but not least, Friday is our art days. We once again did our C is 4 and D is 4 crafts. Like how last week we did A and B, so this week was obviously C and D. So we did C is for candy corn and D is for dog. She was very excited that we were going to get to paint again, especially hand painting. And this time we got to paint her foot. She said that was her favorite craft so far because she said it tickled her foot, but she chose to do a pink dog, and we accidentally did the dog upside down, but no big deal on that. It still turned out just as perfect. She included her little sister in it as well, so there's a little dog next to hers. That's her little sister's foot as well, and she had a lot of fun doing that. She loves Arts and Crafts Day. Now that day, because of needing some help, we did wait for my husband to come home from work, and we did school later in the day. We actually did it after dinner, and later in the evening we went outside and did it. So it was perfect, and mess and cleanup was easy by being able to go outside and having one adult doing the painting and one adult doing the cleaning. That was definitely very helpful in that situation. So overall, I have to say that my favorite moment from this week was actually doing the crafts, having all 4 of us as a family outside doing the painting, seeing how well they were turning out. And I did forget to mention these ideas did come off of Pinterest. So when I was looking up, I would just search on Pinterest, C is for craft, D is for craft, and you can get so many different examples and ideas. So obviously I chose these ones, but there are so many other ones. There's ones that don't involve painting at all. But it was so much fun getting to do that together as a whole family and not just have it be, you know, me and Charlie. So yes, I absolutely loved doing the craft this week. Like I said, I think the biggest challenge going forward is just finding the right motivation for her for reading and writing. You know, even on Tuesday, she didn't even want me to read her a story because we got the books that come from Hooked on Phonics that I was going to read. So I think just finding the right motivation is going to be, I don't want to say that's the challenge, but that's going to be how to overcome the challenge of her not really being interested in reading and writing right now. It's just finding the right motivation for her. So we're going to make a few adjustments. I might look up to see what other kinds of hands-on activities that I can do to get her interested in reading and writing that aren't just the Hooked on Phonics app and aren't just us sitting down practice writing or practice reading. So we will see how that goes in the future. Hopefully we'll be able to figure out what's going to motivate her for that subject. We do have some exciting fun things planned for next week that I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to Monday's activity where we learn about community helpers. So keep an eye out for next week's recap because I have a feeling that one's probably going to be a pretty big hit. But if not, I will be proved wrong, but I'm really hoping so. So once again, keep an eye out for next week's. I think next week we've got some pretty fun things planned. So that was our second week of homeschooling. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are homeschooling as well, let us know in the comments how your week went. What were your wins? What were your flops? Or just anything in between so that we can share our journeys together. As always, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit like and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss any of our future homeschooling recaps. Well, like I said, these will be weekly. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and that is all we have for today. So until next time.